Hello YouTube friends and family. The leg. So we're gonna have to use your torch.
Hello, welcome back to the channel. We're back with a disco that we've not long bought, and we've got a problem with a wobbly gear stick. A wobbly knob there, very loose. So what we've bought is a kit comprising of these three components that we're going to hopefully take that wobble out of the gear lever. To do that, we're going to attempt it from the top. Now, to get to the top of the gearbox, as you can see, there's rivets in this section here. We need to get there. I've already got this off because that was the gaiter which we're replacing with a new one, a new gaiter on there, and there will be a new gaiter on here as well. And then to get all of this off is quite simple. Take off the pretty things, you know, the rubber matting and etc. And then in the box, in the cubby hole, there's two screws there. Can you see just the two holes? I've took the screws out there. Okay, and on the front there, can you see there and there, there's another two screws there, and then you've got a section here where the lights are, the window controls. This panel just clips off. Then from this section here, where all the buttons and the controls are, there's just four tiny little screws. You have to take them out, and then all this comes forward. What we're going to have to do next is just unplug all the switches. We have to remove the handbrake. This just twists off and screws off, pulls off the end, and it's clipped in here on a metal framework, look, which we're going to be replacing anyway. So all this framework pulls out, all this comes out, and then you can take this off, and that releases everything. That should then, it's already coming loose, as you can see, it's all comes loose. So we're going to remove this now. I can't do that with both hands because I'm holding the phone with one. So I'll come back to you as soon as we've got this lifted out of place. Just going to unplug all the window controls. You have got heated seats there and some as well, but not with this one. Yeah, so I'll get this out. I'll just lift this out now, pull it all out, and then get back to you as to where we're going to go with the removal of that. It looks like we're going to have to drill out the rivets to get at this rubber component, move all that out. We should be able to get at it then, and hopefully we've only got three components, two of which are springs. So I'll get back to you. Bye for now. So without, so as I said to you before, this gaiter has got to come off anyway. So if this is the framework that holds the gaiter in there, just clips out. Pull this back, and you can see there's a rubber like O-ring there. This is how you replace the gaiter anyway, the cover. And then that comes off, discard that. Make sure you don't lose that O-ring, clip it back on there so we don't get it lost. And that's out the way. But you don't need to take off the handle to do that. So what we're going to do now, as you can see, we've unplugged all the light. This is all loose. The whole thing now is completely loose. So with assistance from my assistant, when I can find him, what we're going to do is see if we can wangle it around, twist it around, and get it up and over the gear stick and the handbrake, and see where we go from there. If we can't, we'll get back to you and look at removing the handbrake from down there. Okay, back shortly. Bye. Action.
So you need to remove this, get the handbrake out, but you actually got to take the whole handbrake out. You just got to take the cable out of the handbrake so the handbrake can move like this, and there's a pin through there which would normally be through there as well with that on the end of it. You pull that out and then you've got full scope on the handbrake there, look. Which means that when the handbrake is completely up, there should be enough room to manoeuvre this off without taking the actual handbrake off.
There's only a cigarette lighter still attached.
There you go. So there we go. That is out the way. And now we'll drill these rivets out, and this plate should come off, and then we should be able to see the bits in there with the springs to make that gear stick sit like that instead of like that. Because obviously the issue is, normally you'd be able to push that up straight into third, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because it'd be there. But because it's over there, it's in between first and third. So,
okay,
yeah.
we'll get that off. See you in a bit.
Hello. We've got to drill these out. So we've got a drill bit this big, no particular size, just this big. And then you just drill the tops off them like that, and we'll go all the way around until we can get that plate off. So there we go. Now we need to hoover all this swarf so it don't drop down there. But you can see they've all been drilled off. Get Henry out to do his duty. Get all them out. Right, we've got to get this bit off to get the rubber bit off. So just undo that clamp there. You've got to take the bolt all the way through because it's got to cut out in it. See, pull that off there, and then off with the rubber. Make sure none of them bits go down the hole, and then it's got a rubber cover over it as well. In there, that's all busted and split. And under that is what we're looking at. I think this cable tied on down there.
I think this whole rubber comes off, don't it?
Yeah, it's all cable tied on. Look, big cable tie there. Then this entire piece comes off that, and then we can see what we're dealing with down there. There's one of the springs. Look, see.
Yeah.
There's both of them there. That's what needs replacing, because obviously that spring has got more spring than that spring, and it's pushing it over, and they should be keeping it central. So
spring again.
We shall do it.
Spring is in the air. Okay, okay.
Right, we've got that off. That's all busted. And if we come inside here, it's just cable tied down. Those undo the cable. Well, cut the cable tie, and it comes off. And if you come in here, you can see down there that that piece there has snapped off. Let's get it out. There, look. That snapped off. That should be sticking straight up in between.
Yeah. Let's get this. Get the one that's going back in.
Oh.
It is here somewhere.
We don't know where it is.
It was here.
No, is that it over there? No, Mum's tied it away. Anyway, that is supposed to be in between them two springs, and that's what keeps your gear stick central like that. That has snapped off, so I need our gear stick over that side instead of there. And occasionally, it felt like it was okay, and that's probably because that was just banging around in there. Sometimes it was in the middle of them, sometimes it was just knocking about. But we undo these bolts here. We take that plate off with the springs. We put our new plate on, which has got that piece still connected to it, and then that should hopefully fix our gear change problem. We drill these out and then re-rivet the cover back on, and away we go.
Job's a good one.
It's another problem solved.
Yeah, and if you remember at the beginning of the video, I did show you the three components that we're replacing, which was that bracket and the two springs. Go. Chris is busy today, so I'm resuming where we left off yesterday, and changing over of the springs on the gear lever. We did point out yesterday that the part that's broken, let me just change over 1 second. Okay, still on me. Okay, sorry about that. I'm new to this game. Right, as you can see, I've started to take it out. The part that's broken is this. This is the new one, look, which goes over there and down fits in there on the base plate, and the one that's broken off is this one, which should be sitting down there, but that's what we're replacing. And obviously the two springs as well, because it comes, we might as well replace these as well. I've took the one spring off from there just by undoing the bolt from there. All you need to know is there is, when you release that bolt off, there is a bit of tension on it. So what I did was I got some grips, and I just lifted this up over the top of there, and that releases a bit of the tension, not a great deal. Just be aware that when you take out this bolt, it has got some tension on it, not a great deal, but you don't want that bolt to fly down there and then you've got to search for it. So what I'm going to do now is take out the one remaining bolt over that corner, take out this one, and then we can remove this plate which is all broken. So I'll get back to you shortly when I've got that off. Bye. Okay, back again for a quick recap. I've just realised that if you put the gear lever up into first, it will bring this bar down lower. So I'm hoping, I'm just going to try and see. Yep, that's easier. That releases the tension, and you can take this bolt out with any problem and just lift the spring off. And obviously that's going to be the way to put the new one back on. We'll drop it on there, put the bolt in, use the grips, pull that round there, and then we can probably do the same with the one on the other side. Okay, back shortly. Okay, as you can see, all the bits are out, two springs, the plate, and the part that's broken off. This is the new section, and this is the O-ring that came out of there. But what you need to do, this was stuck to the plate, but as you can see, it's chamfered one way, and it's got to make sure it goes back on the right way. Make sure that when you're getting this out, none of the rubbish has fallen in there if this comes out on the plate, which I suspect it will because it was stuck hard. Make sure none of it goes down. If it does go down, I just got a tiny little magnet, went round it and pulled any rubbish out. So that has obviously got to go back on there, and that just drops in there and slots into place like so. Okay, once that's in, that'll prevent anything else going down there. Okay, so that's that part. Now obviously the next part is this plate. Now that goes on obviously the way it came off, like so. That will bolt back down in there, springs on there, back into place, in reverse really of how it got took off. So we'll get back to you later. Just enough in that bend to put that spring round, but you will have to use a pair of these because you really need to get some tension on it. You can do it on your own, I've done it on my own. But what I did find is, because on this rod here, you've got like maybe 10mm of play at the top of it. I've knocked it down, the spring down now, but there's about 10mm of play. If you, before you try to put the springs onto the lever, put the bolts in and just put them in like 4 threads, so you can leave this spring as high as possible up here. That does give you a bit more leeway of getting the tension and getting it into there. And then once you've got it into there, you can tap the spring down into position, put the bolts in. Okay, so once that's done, everything is nice and tight now. It's really, really good. Put the clutch in. It's really sweet. I'm doing it left-handed and messing about with it, but yeah, it's really good. We're pleased with it. So where we go from here is put the rest of these bolts in, tighten it all down, drill the rest of these out so I can get some new rivets in, put the seal back on, put the rivets in, and all the rest of it is a reverse of what you saw at the beginning of the video, putting the console back in. Okay, hope this has helped. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next job. Bye. Drill out the rivets and replace this back onto there, but yet again we've run out of power in the battery. We don't have much luck at the moment with these power screwdrivers, drills, so if anybody feels that they want to let us have one to try and to do a review on, we're quite happy to do that for you, and hopefully we can get the simplest of things like rivets drilled out without the battery going flat part way through the job. Okay, we'll catch you later. Thanks a lot. Bye.